Good evening. My heart in addressing you today is full. I thank the St. Thomas More Society of Los Angeles for inviting me to share some remarks with you. It is truly an honor to be on this altar with so many distinguished members of the judiciary, the church, the legal community, and law enforcement. I grew up at a Catholic school, Holy Angels, where my teachers and first role models were nuns. Thereafter, as I grew older, after I attended Wednesday church mass and Sunday mass, family mass in the regular family pew, and thereafter attended Wednesday mass at my children's schools and then later on in my children's schools' gyms, I find myself here today amongst you in this beautiful church to be quite taken aback with the privilege afforded me to be here with you. I'm also truly amazed and gratified to be able to join the interfaith community and the collective leadership of my brethren on the bench, my colleagues from Los Angeles and Orange County and the federal bench, and of course, my former warriors, the trenches, the lawyers, as well as our leaders in the legislature and municipal government. I think it's so important that we remember the work of St. Thomas More and also, frankly, of the character that built that work. When you think about his lifetime over the hundreds of years, you think of a person who went from the son of a judge to become Sir, to become the closest and highest advisor to the most secular and enslaved material leader of his times, to close friend and confidant, to treasonous prisoner, to saint. And yet nothing about the work he did or the person he was changed in the hundreds of years from son of a judge, from sir to prisoner to saint. What changed was the world around him. And what stayed fast in that world around him and us are the values that he is remembered for, which is why he is, in my view, the appropriate patron saint of politicians, leaders, statesmen, judges, and lawyers. The world we live in, unlike the great divide of the Reformation that he faced when he refused to swear the oath of supremacy, is still filled with the intractable problems of our times. We have a state like California, the richest in the United States, the 8th largest economy in the world, that also has the highest poverty rate in the United States. 4 out of 10 people in California live in poverty, and 23% of that population are children. We also have in California the greatest educational opportunities available, not only through K-12, but community college, 4-year public and 4-year private colleges. And we have the stain of the highest dropout rate, greater than the national average. And these are but 2 of the problems that face our leaders to make decisions. And yet leadership statewide and definitely nationally is polarized. We have never seen, according to the Pew recent survey, that we have so many ideological silos, so much polarization that what used to be some political overlap in the different points of view is diminishing. We're seeing more and more polarization, lack of communication in the face of some of our most intractable problems that desperately need leadership and resolution. And these problems, like poverty, like education, like dropout rates, like homelessness, like immigration, all of those come to the courts through the work of the lawyers, through the work of my colleagues. And as has been said here tonight, we must bring to bear the wisdom and humility in addressing these social justice issues, even though we are a country and a state that happens to be on the cutting edge of civil rights. Yet we still have intractable problems that come to the bench. So how appropriate we are gathered here in the name of St. Thomas More, a man who, as many of you know, frankly had monastic leanings, who sought quite strongly to live a life as a monk, but felt an equal tension to a life of duty to public service. And he was drawn to that public service. And as a lawyer and judge, strongly ensconced in the rule of law, and a close advisor to a person who was so inapposite to his own qualities as an advisor. And when he objected to the use of the church for personal gain or a personal point of view, he took the action of restraint, objecting and stepping back. A man of character, a man of integrity, a man of courage, because surely he knew, after those many years of advising King Henry VIII, that his absence would be noticed and he would be held accountable, as he was. And in the face of simply failing to swear his oath, to recognize King Henry as the supreme leader of the England Church, despite the pleas of his family, his daughters, he would not give in. He was truly a man for whom he could not make that principal sacrifice. So how appropriate is it when we face these intractable world problems and we have chosen public service to be the arbiters of facts and law, to bring wisdom integrated with the facts to people who come in need, that we should remember the great works and the principle of someone like St. Thomas More, who over the hundreds of years has proven to be now our patron saint. It's hard work. It requires us to visit every day our hearts and our minds and to find the place where those two meet for justice. And it also can result in very unpopular decisions, though they are correct in law, they are correct in justice, they are correct in equity. But it is only by working together and bridging this polarization will we be part of the solution for which we were called to be when we donned our robes and swore our oaths. And so in closing, I invoke a quotation from Mother Teresa, who said, "I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together, we can do great things." Thank you for this honor, and God bless you.